Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Yes, I finally got it done, my Thor build, after hours and hours. I call it the Stormbreaker Thor build. This build is incredibly strong, it's based around AoE, and it destroys everything that gets into its path, as well as having pretty good survivability. Um, this took a long time to prepare. Like, I went through every single piece of gear that I had, tried it out, trying to get the most damage and making sure that I could still survive in the in-game content. And I finally came up with this best thing that I possibly could. Yeah, it would mean a lot to me if you liked and subscribed on this video to help me out. Also, we're going to be doing a giveaway at the end of this week, so 1 week from when I post this video. And it is going to be a $50 card to whichever platform you play on, whether that is PlayStation, Xbox, or PC. I'll be announcing the winner in a video a week from when this one gets posted, and then I'll get in contact with whoever wins that, and I will get you your code sent out to you. So make sure you're subscribed to get into that draw. And without further ado, let's jump right into this Thor build. Alright, so first we will go over the gear. I'll go over all the traits up here after I get finished explaining the gear. As you can see, my health is a bit low for this build, but there's things in the kit down here that increases survivability, and I find you don't really need a whole lot more than 10,000 health to survive in-game content. As long as you're playing smart, and like I said, there's some things in here that actually help you stay up. So let's jump into it. So if you guys watched my last video, obviously I was running Pim, and I still think Pim's one of the best traits in the game, or buffs in the game. But I decided to go with Gamma for this build. It outperformed Pim as far as AoE damage and consistently ticking damage, so I decided to go with this. All you need really is just the signature attacks, deal the gamma damage, so just make sure you have that. The other traits don't really matter a whole lot. If you can get one with Valor, that would be the best. But yeah, just make sure it's light signature attacks deal gamma damage. That's the most important thing on that. Also on mine here, I have that 120% critical attack damage while in Odin Force, which is great. This is a very high crit damage build, so if you could get that on there too, that would be great. But if not, just make sure you have the gamma damage for signature attacks. That's all we usually use. So for the hammer, this is one thing that really buffs your damage here, is for the very bottom piece, increase the amount of gamma damage done with any attack by 23%. So you're always using the signature attacks, which is gamma damage, so you're constantly dealing 23% more damage. Really good. Then you can see the other pieces there that just when pinned enemies take it and all that sort of stuff, which we don't really throw our hammer a whole lot, so that's not really useful to us. It's really just on there for that 23% damage. So that's pretty much a flat damage for us that we're constantly dealing. Moving on to the chest piece here. So this is where the build starts to go crazy. The first buff, the 15.7% chance taking damage grants a damage buff. The damage buff is insane. My heroic rating jumps up to over 12,000. My melee rating goes up to just about 2,000, and my range goes up as well. But the two big things, the melee is up and the heroic, and all you have to do is take damage, because you're constantly taking damage because you're in the enemy's face. So yeah, I'll have a screenshot of that, of what my stats actually look like once they are done. But once they're actually buffed, but it's absolutely insane. You have this up a lot of the time because you're constantly taking damage. It's a 15% chance every time you take damage, so that is incredibly good. Also, one of the things down at the bottom there, this is not the middle one, but the very bottom piece. The middle one's all right for if you get critically wounded, you gain heroic energy, which is pretty good. But that while you're near teammates, you get armored. So as long as you're not solo wolfing it, and you're standing next to one of your teammates or fighting with your teammates, you're constantly armored, so you take less damage, which ties into your survivability. This piece is very good, so if you can find it, make sure you keep onto it. I would rather if I'd rather have Valor on it, but instead of the proficiency, but this is what I got, or precision, sorry. But you know, this is what I got. So moving down to the belt. So this is, in my opinion, one of the best traits in the game. A lot of people, I haven't seen no one use it, but I think it's personally one of the best. The very bottom piece right there, significantly or successfully landing 16 hits in rapid succession, creates or grants a heroic charge buff for all heroic abilities. This is a pretty significant buff that it gives you. Like it charges up pretty good. And to successfully land 16 hits isn't all that hard with Thor, because his light attack combo that you're going to be using is over 16 hits, so you automatically get it if you successfully land that entire combo without taking a hit, which you do quite a bit. And then also what I found out, what really makes this thing go crazy, is when you use the BIFROST, and it spreads the red, if you use it with the flame damage one, creates that huge ring of fire, which every enemy inside takes tick damage every half a second. So this, if there's 5 enemies, let's say in the radius, it's ticking every half a second. So every second you're getting 10 ticks on this. So technically in 2 seconds you would be gaining this buff, or this charge. If there's more enemies, it goes even quicker. There's been times that I will land the Bifrost, and by times the Bifrost ends, I have 3/4 of my ability back, or my ultimate ability, and all my other abilities are charged back up too. This is incredibly powerful, but I think a lot of people look at it and say it's 16. That's not really like possible, but with Thor it is very possible. So yeah, make sure that you try this out. It's super fun. You just see your abilities jump right back up, and you can just use them again and again. It's incredibly fun to use. The other traits you can sort of see on there, increase the heroic rating by attacks with melee, and then the signature attacks, which signature attacks is really good because that's all we're using is signature attacks with Thor. So yeah, that piece, but the main thing is getting that bottom piece. Try it out, see if you like it. It's super fun. I think it's one of the best things in the game. Just quickly for the chest piece, if you are having a hard time surviving with this build, there's another chest piece you can use, but it's not quite as good as this because you don't get your damage buff quite as bit. And it's this one right here. So instead of having the damage buff, you get the defense buff every time you take damage, which actually does help you survive quite a bit. I was running this piece for a little while. And then if you get critically injured, you get the damage buff. But it's a 29% chance. But you don't really want to get critically injured because, well, that means you're right next to death. So that's why I believe this piece is better. A little bit less survivability, but it does have that damage buff. And if you want more survivability, if you don't run this, which I suggest you do, it's super strong, you can also switch over to this one here. That gives you the Jarvis Shield, and this Jarvis Shield actually protects you very well. Even though it's only 20% of your maximum health, it does protect you very well. Again, I would never put this on because, as you can see, it would change my defensive rating like so low that I would have no health at all. But yeah, this is how I run. These are the pieces of gear that I go with. Over here, I just run 2 stones with the straight Valor on them to increase that Valor as high as possible, because you want that Valor as high as possible. And yeah, and these would actually be better if I could get like a heroic ultimate charge. Yeah, that's what I personally want on these, but I don't have them, so anything with Valor to get that Valor boosted up as high as possible, it would work. For the major artifact, I'm running the Tachyon. The reasoning behind it is 11% increased damage to status effect in enemies, which with Gamma, which is why this is so good, you spread your Gamma to all the enemies, so it actually ends up dealing or spreading to everybody, and then you're always dealing the additional 11% damage, which ties into your damage, which yeah, you hit incredibly hard with this. So we'll jump into the ratings up here. So this is 1400. So it's 1,000 damage. As you can see, my critical damage is an additional 280%, which is great. Down here, I'm running 10,000, or pretty much 11,000 health, which isn't ideal. I like to be at 12,000, but just for the gear that I've gotten, I'm at 11,000 for right now. But I would shoot to try to get your health right around 12,000 if you could. That seems a pretty comfortable spot to be at without obviously having to sacrifice a whole bunch of stuff. So technically, what I would like to do is have these two numbers switched right here. They put the 800 up top here and put the 1300 down here, but I don't have the gear for that. So this is what I have for right now. Up here, you don't really need a whole lot. Like you said, you don't use your hammer throw a whole lot, but again, the gear just put me up to here. The traits on these gear are more important than having, like, you know, just because you have higher here and lower here. This gear is what makes the build, and having a high heroic rating. That's your main thing. You want a decent melee, but you want a really high heroic rating because that's what makes you. Because this build charges up the heroic ability super quick, which I'll show you what causes that when I go into the skill tree here. But yeah, so you just want a really high heroic rating and a pretty decent melee rating because you're using your melee quite a bit as well. The other two doesn't need to be very high. Like I said, you want to probably shoot for try to be around 12,000 health, and then your range doesn't matter at all. So we'll jump into the skills here. So these, you get them all. So for the support heroic, I run this piece here, which gives a 25% increased damage to your allies. It's great for helping out your allies, dealing extra damage, killing things quicker. And then down here, I run the increased attack damage, or attack critical, sorry, and the increased critical damage. This does affect you too, so this helps you out quite a bit for getting your criticals off. And like I said, you deal that 200%, 280% extra damage. So yeah, it's incredibly good when you use the Warrior's Fury. Now moving into the assault, you can make a decision here. I run it with the 3 charges. It doesn't deal as much damage as the whirlwinds, but the 3 charges where you charge up your ability so quickly, you can pretty much weave these in between your signature attack, which I should, I guess, go over the signature attack. You're using the signature attack all the time. This spinning your hammer. It deals insane amounts of damage. It applies your gamma like very quickly, and it's probably the hardest hit in one of Thor's abilities. I pretty much will run into a combat, use one of these, I'll fully like get right to the very end, do the finisher, which is the whirlwind thing that you see right there, and then usually end it off with a heavy attack, or charged up heavy attack, sorry, like a whole triangle, and then I will usually use a your assault heroic, the God Bolt. And that's why I use the 3. If you just want big attack damage, then definitely go with this one. You'll hit harder, but personally I think the 3 is better. You have more damage overall because you get to shoot it off 3 times, where this deals about the same damage as what 2 God Bolts do. So yeah, I would definitely go with this one. Down here I got the killing an enemy with the God Bolt grants 5% of your energy back. Again, that's really good considering you can God Bolt if they get low health, which they will be. You God Bolt again and you kill them all and you get the 5% per enemy back, which is, you can charge up your God Bolt pretty quick if you're killing enemies with it, on top of your already very quick charging rate. For the ultimate, like I said, so you're going to use the fire because of that piece on our belt, which the 16 hits. This charges up your ability super quick. Also deals insane amounts of damage because our heroic rating is so high. I can take upwards to 3k with this thing every half a second. So yeah, this is incredible. Over here, when we come back from the BIFROST, we gain our health back. So it's again, if you start to get hurt, you can always go into the BIFROST and come back with practically full health. I always usually come back with full health. So that's how I have this set up. So this is my skill tree. You guys can take a look at it and see how I use it, and then go through it for yourself. I'm gonna point out just the key ones that are very important. So this one here is very important. Your light and heavy attacks boost your heroic abilities. So your light attacks is for 1.5%. Your heavy attacks 2%. This works very good with the signature attack because it hits like 16, 17 times at 1.5%. So you recharge your rate very quickly. So that's why this one's so good. Combo finishers, 25% extra damage. You're usually hitting your combo finisher for the light attack, so this boosts that damage. Takedowns provide the heroic orb, so you always want to be performing your takedowns usually after you get done your signature. Sorry. Usually after you get finished your signature move. After you do your last swirl, they're ready for an execute because it has very high stun on it. So you can just straight up stun the enemy. You can straight up finish the enemy with this, which gives you the heroic orb, which charges you up even better, which charges you up even more very quickly. Like I said, you get your abilities back so quickly. So that's how I have these ones. These ranged ones I don't really play around with too much. You can play around with them however you want. I don't usually use range with the build very often, so this you can just sort of do whatever you want with. These, again, you can sort of play around. I have the willpower. This is pretty important to get your health back when you go into the Odin Force. And then the rest of these are sort of just, you can play around with and pick however you want to do. If you want to copy mine exactly, you can. But the other one that's important is this one here. Increase heroic energy regeneration while in Odin Force. Increase heroic energy regeneration while Odin Force is overcharged by 10%. So this one's important because you do have your Odin Force overcharged quite a bit, so getting that 10% recharge rate is good for getting your abilities back. And then increase damage by 15% while Odin Force is overcharged as well, which is very good as well. So that is pretty much the build, guys. Let me know what you think. Like I said, it does have lower health, but I don't have any problems surviving in the in-game content. As long as you play it safe, as long as you're not, don't jump into something where you're not, where you're fighting a whole bunch of things alone. Like I said, you have that extra shield if you're going in with teammates. But as long as you play it decently safe, you are dealing massive AoE damage from range. Your melees are dealing great damage, so you're killing things very quickly at melee range as well. You just have to watch your health a little bit and play it a little bit more on the safer side because you don't want to run into something. But I mean, any of the in-game content, even when I was running 14,000 health, you still have to be careful because things still can kill you very easily. So again, it is incredibly solid. So try it out. Let me know what you guys think. And I got some gameplay here for you just so you guys can see how I play the build and how it actually does in combat. So yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. So it's not easy, first of all, and we haven't played these enough to actually really know what to expect.
Kinda true. I solo get 5 stars a lot though on level 4 content, so you know what I mean.
Well, I think it's easier on solo though, because I've done the same thing.
Maybe. Oh. Takes 5 years to let that thing go. Wasted it.
Don't these guys ever learn?
Oh boy, that's a lot of enemies going on right now.
Why is my guy attacking health canisters? Anybody wanna jump in? Weigh in as to why my guy just automatically went to the health canister instead of that enemy was right there.
Decided he liked the health canister.
Oh, dude, no. I have had such wacky this game has blown my mind on just how bad stuff can be, you know? It really is, like, I've never seen such stuff in my life, bro. You know, I was looking at like I look at some comic book stories every now and then, and there's some really goofy writers that write comic book stories, honestly.
Oh yeah.
Like, the likelihood of something like that happening is just so dumb and slow, and, like, you know, you wouldn't normally see it.
Hey, get out of there. Get your bubble, buddy.
Clean that up nicely.
I feel like his camera's sort of messed up right now for some reason.
You picked the wrong ship.
What is this thing trying to do to me?
Holy crap.
You're welcome. You probably didn't need to ult there, I had your back on that one.
Oh, is there another synthoid here somewhere?
Why can't I
There you are.
Is it because of the shield thing? I couldn't do the vault over that guy. What's that about? It was because of the stupid yellow drone. That's interesting. Learn something new. Okay. Adaptoid, chill out, brother. Oh. There's another Adaptoid behind me, apparently. This thing's healing right in front of me, bro, and I can't stop it. I can't stop it from healing. Uh-oh. Okay, not good. I'm out. I'm out, peace. I couldn't stop him. Is my damage gone away again? Have I lost my damage? How would you know? Can't trust this game, bro.
Another. Oh gosh.
Oh my god. Getting beamed like.
Oh my goodness.
Son!
You quit it, Adaptoid man. Oh gosh, get away from me.
He just like turns and like his leg dislocates and frickin' football kicks me in the face. Like, what the heck? Almost killed me. Oh, there's something near the door. I have no abilities.
Got my ult. Oh, there he is right there. You can see his little execute. Alright. So an elite.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, I'm gonna ult here.
They're all shielded. Dude doesn't do anything. They get the shield off him.
Oh man, that
Got the
guy's
cryo.
still...
Got a shield off the cryo guy. Hello, man. Oh, okay.
Ow.
Do not upload this video, bro. This video is a mess. And I just swore, so. We playing like garbage anyways, not even impressive remotely. Oh my gosh. So bad, dude. Like, it's bad enough that you have, like, supposedly a challenging thing, but, like, it's just all the bugs and glitches that happen in this is just ridiculous. I'm depressed. I want to just go eat something now. Let's freaking comfort food. So hard. Oh. I might have just got, oh no. I just got my frickin' nameplate back again. Bet y'all lose it.
Hey, look, we 88% of that. We only got 4-star on one of the things.
Yeah, but, like,
Oh, no, okay, no, there's a whole bunch of them. But yeah, we only got... We got one 4-star, and then we got that one 2-star, but...